Do you record while the bus is moving, or does it have to come to a stop before?
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
Throughout history, there have been numerous examples of dictators and political leaders that would stop at nothing to achieve absolute power, money, and notoriety. In the modern world, music and movie stars are often more recognizable globally than many world leaders. To be a superstar is to achieve the pinnacle of fame and fortune. In their struggle to break out into the mainstream, many will try anything, including Satan worship, or selling their souls to the devil, to achieve success. There have been numerous times this secret of the rich and famous leaked out into the public domain. The most notable were the Charles Manson murders of the 1960s. The truth is, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. You may not believe it's real, but those in Hollywood do, and they practice it. Now hear it in their own words.
This is the third temptation of Christ, after he had renounced the economics of turn the stones into bread, and the politics of worship me and you can rule the world. Satan, people don't speak about that very often, but you know how to become a political champion by worshiping Satan. I mean, it tells you that right in the text. After having transcended economics and politics, oh, would Jesus be just so light? So the devil took him up onto the tower of Herod's palace and says, oh, you're so ethereal, just cast yourself down, and God will bear you up. And Jesus says, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. That's the sense of temperance. Don't go up like a balloon. Stay on the ground.
You never suck in anything. I have never,
It's just another example of the Illuminati and Satan worship in Hollywood.
In everything you
We see them all over the internet.
Awesome.
In their own
words. I
words.
love watching you do. Is there anything you've done where you go, oh, I didn't like that?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you critical of yourself?
All the time. Yeah, it just gives me the creeps to watch myself.
They don't like to watch themselves.
The show Alpha House,
because
and I'm running
it's
for
not them,
office
it's the
again.
demon.
There's a big bus, and it had like a 10-foot picture of my face on it. It just, it made me want to go back to Satan worship.
Well, I think
it worked for me. It got me a career.
Let me tell you something.
I had to ask some friends because I was hearing a lot about her, and so they told me, who she was and what she was doing. And I come from the school of thought there's just some things that the public just shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like things that happen between two people, a wife and a husband, girl. I just don't think that it's for mass consumption. I just have always felt that way, and I just think that the whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, kind of bastardized, like whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're going to do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're going to end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
The tribute song is about saving souls from demons or something, as I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Now, what was...
Well, there's a rich history of the devil in rock and roll. It goes all the way back to, like, Elvis was
was everyone said he's playing the devil's music. What was that great song, The Devil Went Down to Joe? Charlie Daniels. Charlie Daniels, he had some devil in there, and it goes even back to before that. Who's Robert Johnson?
Right.
You can find his roots, way back to the beginning of rock. And so, had we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on a
Sasha is my alter ego. And when people see me, sometimes I think that when they meet me and they speak with me, they're expecting Sasha. And I'm really kind of shy, and not really shy, but more reserved, and nothing like Sasha. But I guess I wouldn't be very entertaining on the stage, so Sasha comes out, and she's fearless. She can do things that I cannot do when I'm in rehearsal. I mean, I can try, but then it just doesn't happen. I can sing notes and sing strong and do all these things that when I'm just by myself, I can't do. And I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me, and I knew that was going to be my coming out night for the BET Awards.
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me, and he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage, so he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
That must be nice to have, like, an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every...
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
Can you please bless us with a verse?
Enter Roman. Waiting.
Dun, 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 dun.
What up?
What up, Roman?
What up? What up?
What is the situation with Roman's revenge? Why, your man Weezy's on point too. It's mad out there.
Yo, Roman's revenge is just about taking control. Saying Roman is here to stay. And anybody that ever doubted Roman is going down in a coffin.
Great stuff, kids.
Because your parents were quite strict, they were Christian ministers.
They still are, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
They still are.
And how do they feel now about all your success?
They are very happy for me and support me. Of course, like, I'm not naive. I know that they have different views, and I have my views, but I think that's been the dynamic with, like, parents and their children a lot of times is, like, the kids are a different generation and think some other things, and the parents still think this thing. So, but we agree to disagree, and we get along swell.
Because you weren't allowed to say lucky, weren't you, when you were
How do you know that?
Oh,
he
sidekick.
does his research.
That's just all nice.
I was only allowed to say that I was blessed, which is good because I say that to this day that I'm blessed.
But why not lucky? What's wrong with lucky?
Well, I don't know. I think my mom probably said it sounded like Lucifer. Is that crazy? I wasn't allowed to eat deviled eggs. Hello, that's crazy.
So MTV and everything else was really, like, fused. All y'all were on block. Like, I never saw any music videos or anything, unfortunately. But I remember bringing it home. It was kind of like an almost famous moment. Like, I had to smuggle it in my knapsack, going directly into my room, and then pulling it out. And as I was pulling out the CD, well, needless to say, sold my soul.
You're doing really well now, but didn't you release a CD, like, almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and That's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. So I sold my soul to the devil. So I sold my soul to the devil.
I just kind of really opened my mind up to a whole bunch of things on this little spirit journey I went on. And so on this new record, I wrote about it a lot. Like I have a song called Past Lives and a song called Supernatural, which is about sexy times with a ghost.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
You had sex with a ghost.
Okay, well, I mean...
no one's judging you.
I'm kind of jealous of you.
It's like a real, like, I know, crazy Kesha with her crazy sex with the ghost.
No, it's totally believable.
But it really happened.
Judgment.
So tell us why we want to know the story.
No, I lived in this house up Laurel Canyon that the second I walked in there, I was like, there's some crazy energy in here. And so I was like, I am taking this room. And it was like a flop house. So I just, this energy wouldn't ever let me sleep. It would just wake me up at night. And it was super crazy. And then it just got more and more pervy.
Maybe I could talk to you a little bit about magic. Is that
Sure, yeah,
is that okay?
I love magic.
Because like that, I've read from a number of different sources that that's one of the main themes of you on your album. But we're not talking like David Copperfield magic here, are we?
No. I mean, I like that kind too.
Sure.
But I'm talking more the magic that we experience in life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's love or a drunken evening.
Yep.
Dancing till the sun rises. Making out with a ghost.
Do you think some people are more kind of prone to things like that happening to them than others?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm prone to that because
Yeah.
I'm very open to the supernatural. I've experienced multiple ghosts in my life, or supernatural energies, whatever you want to call them. So it's just like the symbolism and the occult. It's kind of always in the peripheral. I am definitely drawn to the occult.
You have a very close relationship with your fans, to the point that you asked each of your fans to send you a tooth.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that a little more.
Let's talk about it.
What
I
was the
love
plan? What was the plan? You get the teeth.
Well, I don't know. Okay, so I like wearing body parts as jewelry. So I thought I wanted to wear my fans because I love my fans more than anything in the world.
Right.
So I thought they could send me their teeth, and then I made a headdress out of them, and I had like 1,000. So now I'm making a bra because I had so many left over.
You're making a bra out of human teeth. Okay.
When you say it like that, it sounds really weird, but it looks cute.
But when you were doing the Jersey Shore program, they would tape you all day long? Is that right?
Oh, yeah. When we film Jersey Shore, it's basically 2 months, 24/7. There's like 5 cameras in the house, and then there's a camera set up in like each corner. So you're always being watched.
So you're always being watched. Now,
Yeah.
you sign up for that in the contract. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah, we sell our soul.
Well, that's an awful way to live. That really would steal someone's soul.
I like to have fun, but also before Jersey Shore, no one believes this when I say it, but I was a freaking like shy girl. I was very shy. That's funny that I say it now, but I was really shy. Like, I was scared to even like go to the doctors. So, anywho, so yeah, I was going to school to be a vet tech, and I was into my studies, getting good grades, and you know what screwed it all up was this one guy. He broke my heart, and I was like, cool, thanks. I was like, now I have to do something pretty ridiculous and insane with my life, so why not sell my soul and go on Jersey Shore?
You know, a lot of my book is about my wanting to sing. Ever since I was a little girl, my family lied to me and told me that I was better than Shirley Temple, and I believed them.
See, you're not helping a kid when you do that.
No, and I totally believed them and everything. And then when I was 6, all of a sudden, you know, I was a has-been, and they started to, like, tell my younger cousin that she was...
she was the real singer?
Yeah, and it, like, really upset me, so I, like, summoned Satan, and I write about how I made it...
Where do you summon Satan?
In the chapter called Eat, Pray, Love, Conjure Satan. How And when I was 12 years old, I signed a deal with Satan in my room, and I was to...
CBS doesn't condone this.
Wait a minute. Because I wanted to get famous no matter what, and, you know, then I forgot that I had this deal with Satan and everything, and then I got really famous. And then one day I, like, had this tragic singing accident at the...
Oh, yes, I remember that, yeah.
And I realized then that Satan was coming for my soul.
Well, I'm very much into philosophy. A lot of different philosophers that I've read over the years, like Nietzsche, Darwin, Freud, Aleister Crowley, and finally Anton LaVey. And fortunately, he's, you know, still alive, so I got to meet with him and talk about his ideas and things like that. And in America, Satanism is sensationalized and kind of misunderstood, and people associate it with worshiping the devil and things like that. But it's really a philosophy about individuality and self-preservation. It's about you know, being your own God.
We do have one more phone call, so why don't we take that too? Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is Wendy from Cerritos.
Hi, Wendy. What's your question?
I was wondering if there's any significance in the backwards N in Nine Inch Nails.
The backwards N. Is it a logo thing, or did you decide that there was a portion of your life that was backward? And
we do worship the devil, but...
Yeah, I remember having that conversation.
God bless. The problem is that there's not enough money in music as a business model, where in television and where, you know, vis-a-vis the advertisers and movies, there's so much money that the controlling forces still circle around the stars in the right way. Stars are taken care of better in those industries. In the music industry, it's still very much this exploitative thing. It's still very much people signing their life away, you know, the old deal with the devil stuff. That is still going on. It's unbelievable in this day and age that is still going on.
I was getting into, not practicing, but reading a lot of spiritualism and black magic and white magic and all that kind of stuff, and which, you know, a lot of people were doing at the time, which is like the post-hippie generation kind of thing, so all the peace and love was going out the window. And spiritualism and meditation, all that was coming in, so I was interested in that. And somebody gave Ozzy this old 16th century book of black magic, and it was all written in, I think it was Latin, and he brought it round to my flat because he knew that I was interested in books and magic and all that kind of thing. And I just got this really weird vibe off it, and I put it in this cupboard in the apartment that I was living in, and that night I just like woke up suddenly and there was just like this black shape at the bottom of my bed, and it just vanished into thin air as I was staring at it. And I just had the thought, it's got to have something to do with this book that Ozzy brought round for me, and I like leapt out of bed, rushed to the cupboard to throw this book out, and the book was gone. And the next day I told Ozzy about it, and about 3 days after that we came up with our first song, Black Sabbath, and Ozzy just like related my experience in the lyrics.
Now then, nobody but nobody ever did 8 hours down a pit and came back as immaculate as they set off, with white shirt and everything like that. They were quite convinced that I was a witch. If you go to South Kirby now, you'll get some of the old miners when you say, Jimmy Sample's done well, hasn't he? Ah, and you'll look around and you'll say, he's not what you think you know. The forces of darkness are at work there. God is the fabric of everybody's life, and God is the fabric of my life. No more religious or less religious than anybody else. So I would not say that I'm a religious man, but I do know who the boss is. Or anywhere. God is all over, not necessarily up there. If the good Lord, when he was doing his thing, if he bothered about people not seeing eye to eye with him, he would have got nowhere, and a lot of us would have got nowhere into the bargain. So therefore, you've got to square your shoulders and you've got to stand up to be counted, and you haven't really got to pay too much attention to whether people think that you're not doing the right thing. As long as your conscience is clear, then you're okay.
I'm not constrained pretty well by anything. The tough thing in life is ultimate freedom. Ultimate freedom is the big challenge. Now, I've got it, and I can tell you there's not many of us that have got ultimate freedom.
It's interesting to note the 11-pointed star design on the front of Jimmy Savile's wizard gown. This polygon is known as a hendecagram and is a central symbol or sigil of Crowley's Thelema religion. It is the union of the pentagram with the hexagram or the 5-pointed star with the 6. It represents the man-god standing face to face as an equal opposed to his creator or destroyer.
As we talk, the band leader says, "How long have you fellas been involved with sorcery?" And he shocked us a little bit. And I said, "Exactly what do you mean?" "Well," he said, "you know, what you people are doing, talking to the supposed spirits of the dead." He says, this is silly. To me, he says, "I can't bother with this stuff." He says, "I want power. I go right to the source of power." And he says, "How do you think that I became famous the way that I am?" Well, I said, "You must have had some good luck." Well, he says, "There's no such thing as good luck." He says, "There's either some power working for you somewhere, or you don't get ahead in this world. Not in my type of occupation." He said, the supposed spirits of the dead that you're talking with are demon spirits. They're fallen angels. They're beautiful beings.
Just set it out, just like that.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't make you uneasy when he said they were...
Well, you know, it shocked you a little bit, you know. Something that you first hear mentioned to you. He said, "You guys have got a great future ahead of you. Because we've been told, the high priest of our society, secret society, has been told that the master has very special plans for you two."
Now, what did he mean by the master?
Satan. And we were interested to hear more about it. And he told us, he says, "Look, we worship spirits. We worship Lucifer and all his angels. They're just as beautiful as they did before they were cast out of heaven." He says, "There was a misunderstanding in the whole thing," he says, "among the inhabitants of the galaxies." And he says, "Our master was misunderstood. And God did not bear with him like he does with people that make mistakes today. So we're in a warfare, good against evil. And we happen to be the evil ones, but we're not that bad." He says, "I look at this business between the forces of good and evil." He says, "You believe in one person believes in God, and everyone believes in Lucifer. It's like politics."
I remember one day coming from the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning and pulling over on the highway. We like 4 cars, you know, just to watch the sunrise. And it was at that point that I fell in love with Arizona. I said, "You know what, this has to be God's country." You know, because I'd never seen anything as beautiful as that sunrise. Then I met the devil in God's country. You know, and it's not so much who, it's what, you know, what happens and the things that the devil does. It's not so much a person, even though he acts through people. You know, you can't call one person the devil.
Joe Arpaio?
You know, you can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that because no one person has enough power to be the devil.
As hard as you work for your money, there's at least 2 or 3 people out there working just as hard to get it from you.
I was there when Dre told me he would sell his soul to the devil for $1 million. And I swear right now, devil got to have a receipt for his ass.
One night I was in my home studio, and it had to be like 8 to 10 people off in there. And we had beats and stuff playing in the background and everything. That's how we used to do it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody doing what they do, smoking, drinking, and everything. And actually, it came down to it that dudes actually started being used by demonic spirits. And these spirits started speaking through them. You know what I'm saying? Devils started speaking through them, talking to me, asking me, you know what I'm saying, if I was going to sell my soul, telling me what I needed to do to take my career to the next level in darkness. I mean, dudes actually came up to me holding wads of money, saying, "Man, don't you want to make all this money?" If those demonic spirits was real, if the devil was real, you know what I'm saying, and he was offering me a way, then I knew that God was real. For the next 7 days, I continued actually to hear the demonic spirit still propositioning me to sell my soul, you know what I'm saying, in exchange for fortune and wealth or whatever in that music game, you know what I'm saying.
this major music producer sent me an email, and I'm talking to him, and this dude basically told me, you can't rap about Jesus, you can't do none of that, you know, we're going to give you a whole new look, whole new image. He basically was saying, look, man, sell your soul. We want you to rap about and sing about the things we want you to do. Sell your soul. You can't do none of that stuff for Christ, but we'll give you a $2 million music contract for 6 albums. I gotta do 6 albums. The guy was basically telling me to sell my soul. Basically, that's what he was saying. He just was doing it in a different, he just was telling me in a sneaky way. He basically was saying, look, we're watching you, we love your talent, and we want to use you for the Illuminati and for Satan.
Because there's a bunch of devil worshippers in Hollywood. And there's a lot of black folks too. And they be throwing up them signs, you see them, this, that, all of them. Watch the rappers, watch them folks. It's scary. It's very scary. That devil is real.
Everybody wants to make it, and you might not make it. And I said to my dad, well, that depends on what making it is, Dad. He was a smart ass kid. Yeah. It depends on what making it is, Dad. He says, what do you mean? I said, well, you're a teacher. I said, if I could make a teacher salary doing comedy, I think that's better than being a teacher. And he started laughing. He said, if you keep that attitude, I think you should go. He said, but name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you name, get out of there. Mm-hmm. Thus, Africa.
Diese weite Strecke, hinterlasse Spuren auf den Wegen wie eine Weinbergschnecke. Ich spüre, wie ich deine neuronale Leinwand entdecke, in der Zirbeldrüsenmitte, wo ich einen Keim verstecke.